Us from. Thank you all for gracing this special event with your attendance. My name is Emile Ndayambaje, and I am the Development and Communications Manager for Gardens for Health International. And I would like to welcome you all to this year's Thanksgiving celebration at GHI. Please let us know your names, your organization, and where you're attending this event from through the chat box. I've seen most of you are already doing that amazing job. So thank you for that. And please sit comfortably as we dive into our fun-packed agenda for the next hour or so. Without further ado, let me walk you through the agenda for tonight. We will start with a video about what our different members of our community are thankful for after a difficult year that has been mostly marked by the pandemic. So the video will be followed by opening remarks from our amazing Executive Director, Mr. Solomon Makuza. And then we'll have another video which will then be followed by remarks from our one of our co-founders, Emma Krippinger. And then we will hear from Kathy, one of GHI's long-term friends from End World Hunger, who will be speaking about her Thanksgiving experience in Rwanda. After that, we will then head to another fun activity, which is a breakout session to learn more about each other and learn about GHI's work. So there will be a Q&A sessions, and the breakout rooms will be facilitated by my colleagues at GHI. After the group's conversations, we will return to the main room where Solomon will invite each group to share with the full group. Towards the end of the discussion, once again, we will hear from Solomon as he wraps up the event for us. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in to our event tonight. And without further ado, let's watch the first video of the night, which will be followed by Solomon's remarks. Megan, over to you. Thank you.
Ikintu nishimira cyane cyabaye muri uyu mwaka nuko na joininze cyangwa se naje mu muryango ufasha community mu guhindura ubuzima bwabo n'imibereho yabo muri rusange.
Muri uyu mwaka twari turi mu bibazo bikomeye bya COVID. Ariko ndashimira Imana ko icyo cyerezo kitageze no ku muryango wanjye.
I'm thankful for health.
Muri uyu mwaka wa 2021 nuko harimo icyorezo cya coronavirus, ariko nkabashimira Imana ko ntigeze nkirwara.
Icyo nshimira cyane nuko mfite ubuzima bwiza, ikindi nuko nkora ibyo nkunda, ikindi nuko nkorera n'ahantu heza.
Muri uyu mwaka wa 2021 ndishimira ko Imana yadusize amahoro muri iyi nkubiri y'icyorezo cya COVID-19.
Imana yandinze corona, ntago nigeze nyirwara, nta n'uwo mu muryango wanjye wayirwaye.
Namenye gutekera abana banjye ku buryo nta kibazo nzajya ngira mu buzima.
Dear friends and Shutis are true. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, mwiriwe, wherever you are tuning in from. I welcome you all to our Thanksgiving virtual event. I am delighted and grateful that you could join us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. This is the second virtual event, and hopefully the next one will be in person. Today, we are joined by Gardens for Health staff, board members, partners, and friends from across the world. Since 2010, we have come together every other year at a time like this to celebrate together with our partner families, communities, supporters, and friends from far and near. The harvest from our fields, the health of our children and community, and the progress on our mission to close the disconnect between food and nutrition. This has always been an opportune time to reflect, to refresh, and reposition ourselves to advance further. This tradition is rooted in both the American and Rwandan culture. While the designation of Thanksgiving is indeed an American holiday, and I believe our American friends are already getting ready, the ethos and spirit are also very Rwandan. We call it Umuganura. A little bit of history on that name. The Genesis of Moganra dates back in the 9th century, where the king's subjects would convene at his place with agricultural harvests and offer them to His Majesty the king. The king then was regarded as God's representative in the country, and the offerings were a token of thanks for his benevolence that has led to a good harvest. In return, the king would kneel as a show of humility towards his people. They will then prepare a meal comprising sorghum cake, which would be shared with lots of other foods and drinks. The celebration would also be held at the family level, like the way we are doing right now, with the head of the family chairing it. The day is regarded as a sign of unity among Rwandans and an opportunity to assess the past, celebrate achievements, correct mistakes, and appropriately plan for the future. While we aren't able to share sorghum cake or food at the farm as it has always been, we are so grateful that we can share this space, connect, and celebrate together. Although COVID-19 has changed the world we live and operating in so many levels, as you've heard from the team and the community, the relevance and importance of Thanksgiving remain intact. And as we reflect on 2021, we are grateful for so many things, from the gift of life to the ability to reconnect on this platform today. Please allow me to share a few notable ones. First, we are grateful to each one of you for standing side by side with us as we weather the COVID-19 storm. Your messages, donations, social media likes, to mention but a few, comforted us and kept us going. Second, we are grateful for the opportunity to learn that this crisis has provided. We've learned how to become more resilient and bounce back not only for today, but in similar episodes of disruption in the future. Above and beyond, we have and are still making sure that we come out of this period with a better version of the organization and a better version of ourselves. Third, we also grateful for the opportunity to form meaningful partnerships, to be trusted and uniquely positioned to respond to food and nutrition security challenges faced by our communities as a result of this pandemic. Allow me to quickly share a brief snapshot of what we have achieved together in numbers. Through our direct programs, we've equipped more than 500 mothers and 200 men with nutrition education and agricultural resources necessary to grow and consume nutritious foods. We have trained community health workers and health professionals in 2 districts on our model. We have accelerated the Nutrition Champions Initiative, which aims to empower graduates of our core program to replicate GHI's model in the larger community. And as of to date, we are happy to report that more than 1,200 graduates are now organized in 46 saving groups that function autonomously. Through our farm, we were able to accelerate our farm's productivity by enhancing regenerative and permaculture gardening practices that upholds the health of soil, plants, and environment. And through our COVID-19 response, we were able to support more than 19 health clinics to continue the maternal and child health work during the lockdown. We are able to raise awareness to more than 4,000 program graduates about COVID-19 prevention, but also taking care of themselves. We were able through our farm to provide food support and more than 2,000 seed packets to more than 300 families that surrounds our farm. And through our partnerships, we were able to engage in new valuable partnerships that enabled impact of our work further with institutions such as Regenerosity, Emory University, Vanguard Economics, to mention but a few. We also had the opportunity to co-author the National Kitchen Garden Guide and the Cooking Demonstration Recipe Booklet. We also had continued to equip 104 primary schools serving more than 84,000 students with nutrition education and agricultural support aimed at improving the growth and consumption of nutritious meal. Regarding our staff welfare, who are the heartbeat of all that we do, we are so thankful that more than 80% of our staff are fully vaccinated. And we've also enhanced our employee assistance program by organizing expert-led self-care and welfare workshop, conducting a mental health audit, and offering virtual self-care sessions, to mention but a few. Further context will be shared in the video that will be screened in a moment. We have intervened and continue to support those that are at high risk of malnutrition with education, resources, and long-term support. However, the nutrition needs of so many families remains unmet. The importance of our work around nutrition and food security couldn't be more apparent. And we are committed as ever to reach out to as many families and communities as possible. There is an African proverb that I like to quote that says that the wind doesn't break a tree that bends. The wind doesn't break a tree that bends. We are bending closer to the most in need, one day, one family, one community at a time. Although we are unable to congregate, share, and celebrate together in person, we hope this 1 hour virtual interaction will provide you an opportunity to reconnect with the GHI extended family on the ground and anything that is special or excites you. Thank you and welcome once again, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much, Solomon, for those great remarks. And with that, I can only invite my colleague, Megan, to share with us a glimpse of what we've been to through the lenses of our community partners. Thank you.
Nitwimana Jean Claude, nkaba nkorera hano ku kigo nderabuzima cya Kayanga, ndi umukozi ushinzwe gukurikirana ibikorwa by'abajyanama b'ubuzima. Urebye muri ibihe bya Covid n'ubundi kwa muganga twaragumye turakora, n'ibijyanye n'imirire rero ntabwo twigeze tubisiga inyuma, twaragumye turabikora. Hari ubufasha dutanga duha imiryango iri mu cyiciro cya mbere ya shisha kibondo, imiryango yose iri mu cyiciro cya mbere cy'ubudehe tubahashisha kibondo. Hari n'abana bafite imirire mibi yoroheje tubaha amata. Ahanga ku kigo nderabuzima byaragumye birakorwa, kandi dukora n'ubukangurambaga bugamije gutegura indyo yuzuye mu mudugudu no kugira ngo babashe kwita ku bana babo, kugira ngo wagira ikibazo bamutugezeho kwa muganga kugira ngo tubashe kugira icyo twamufasha.
Ninde wambwira ese iyo bavuze imirire myiza wumva iki mu muryango mugari?
GHI ikintu dufasha cyambere n'ubukangurambaga kugira ngo abantu bahindure imyumvire ku bijyanye no gutegura indyo yuzuye. Hanyuma ikindi baduha n'ubufasha bujyanye no gukora pratique. Imiryango ikaza igahurira hamwe tugateka tugakora igikoni cy'umudugudu kugira ngo babashe barebe uburyo twakundi dutegura indyo yuzuye. Ibyo bintu byarabaye kandi ubona yuko byatanze umusaruro.
Umurima w'ubuzima rero tugira buryo ki dukoresha kwigisha abantu b'ingeri zitandukanye kumenya neza ko bariye ya ndyo yuzuye, sibyo? Ya mirire myiza turayirya koko, kuko igisobanuro cy'imirire myiza ni ukurya intungamubiri zikenewe mu mubiri. Ni ukuvuga ngo niturya intungamubiri nkeya ntago bizaba ari byiza, ariko niturya na nyinshi cyane azaba ari ikibazo. Ni ingenzi rero ko tumenya ko twareza ntungamubiri zikenewe hehe mu mubiri. Izo ntungamubiri n'ahandi tuzazikura muri ya ndyo yuzuye. Tuje rero bivangura muri ubu buryo tubereka buryo ki umurima w'ubuzima ukoresha kugira ngo tubashe gusobanurira abantu bamenye neza ibigize ya ndyo yuzuye bituruka mu byubaka umubiri, ibitera imbaraga n'ibirinda indwara. Ariko umurima w'ubuzima wo ukoresha icyo twita amabara ane.
Mbere ntago nakamenya guteka neza, ariko aho duhuguriwe n'umurima w'ubuzima batwigishije guhinga, dutera kijyambere, tumenya guhinga imboga, tumenya gukora akarima k'igikoni, ndumva mwatubonye.
At Gardens for Health, we work in two main districts, Gasaba and Musanze. The mission is still to eradicate malnutrition amongst children under 5. And to do so, we work with pregnant mothers and their husbands on a program which we call Maternal Nutrition Program. Starting with Gasabo, we are still working with those, implementing a program through a series of topics in both agriculture and health, whereby they learn how to grow nutritious food for consumption, to boost their immune systems when we want to relate it to COVID-19.
Kubera yuko mbere wasangaga ari twe dukora ibyo bikorwa twenyine, ariko noneho tuboneye umufatanyabikorwa byaradufashije, yaba ari mu gutanga inama no kudufasha gusura ya miryango yacu. Ubona hari umusaruro byatanze, nk'abadamu batwite iyo barangije kwiga basoje icyiciro mukaganira, ubona yuko hari impinduka, uko batangiye nuko basoje, ubona yuko hari ikintu bajyanye biba bitandukanye na mbere.
Twamenye neza ibigize yandyoyusiye twajyaga tuvuga, ariko wenda tutajyaga dusobanukirwa ku kigero kimwe. Uyu munsi wa none rero turabisobanukiwe. Mu by'ukuri ahangaha hari imfashanyigisho ikwereka uko uzajya ubigenza, izajya inakwibutsa igihe ugiye gutegura amafunguro, waba ugiye guhaha, nyamuneka, ndetse n'abandi wenda mwaba muturanye batagize amahirwe yo kumenya ibi ngibi, mwaza kugira gute, mwaza kwibasangiza nta kibazo.
Muri iri somo uno munsi twizemo guteka indyo yuzuye inkono imwe mu isaha imwe. Indyo yuzuye twasanze iri mu mabara 4. Hari ibara ry'umweru rigizwe n'ibijumba, akaba ari ibitera imbaraga. Twongera tubona ibara ry'ikijuju rigizwe n'ibinyamisorwe, ari byo bishyimbo, soya n'amagi bikomoka ku matungo harimo n'inyama. Twongera tubona ibara ry'icyatsi rigizwe n'imboga dodo. Twongera tubona ibara ry'umutuku na oranje rigizwe na karoti na betarave, inyanya, bituma tugira umubiri ufite ubudahangarwa ndetse tukabasha no kubona neza.
Ikintu nishimira cyane ni ukuntu mbona ababyeyi dukorana nabo bahinduye imyumvire, bakagira ubumenyi ku mirire, cyane cyane kumenya gutegura indyo yuzuye, kumenya kujya gusuzumisha inda na protokole yabyo, kumenya isano riri hagati y'isuku n'imirire myiza ndetse n'ubuzima bwiza.
Mu buzima busanzwe iri somo icyo rizamfasha nuko ninjya gutekera umuryango wanjye, nzajya mbanza nkareba ko ya mabara 4 koko ari mu ndyo ngiye guteka.
The most important practical session that is done is to how to cook a balanced meal in the context of the population work with.
Inama twagira imiryango ifite ikibazo cy'imirire mibi nuko bakurikiza inama tuba twabahaye. Inama yaba ari zo twabahaye ku kigo nderabuzima, yaba ari inama bahawe n'abakozi b'umushinga wa GHI, kugira ngo babashe kubishyira mu bikorwa. Nimba twigiye hamwe gutegura indyo yuzuye, bakagenda bakabasha kubishyira mu bikorwa iwabo. Ikindi nuko uwagira ikibazo yagana ikigo nderabuzima tukamufasha mu bufasha tuba dufite.
Ndashima cyane GHI muri rusange uruhare igira mu guteza imbere ubuzima bw'umuryango mugari.
Wow. For those who have just joined us, we are celebrating our Thanksgiving here in Rwanda. And for those who have been with us from the start, once again, thank you for sticking with us. I hope you have enjoyed the videos and the speeches and remarks from our executive director as much as I did. And really got to see what we do at the farm and what we do with our partners in communities, and inviting you all to come and visit when you get a chance. So our Thanksgiving event can't be complete without remarks from our longtime friends and co-founders. So for the next moment, I will invite Emma Krippinger to really tell us a little bit about the history of GHI and her experience with working with communities of parents in Rwanda. And yeah, thank you. Over to you, Emma.
Murakoze cyane. As always, this is my favorite event of the year, although usually I prefer it to be in person. I don't have a lot prepared, but I just want to say how thankful I am for this community, for Solomon and his incredible leadership, for the GHI staff, those who I know very well, and those who I've heard about, and those who I look forward to meeting, and to the broader GHI community, to everyone who is on this call, to everyone who we work with on a daily basis, to everyone who makes our work possible. This is usually the time of the year and the event where we all get to gather and to heap our plates with tons of delicious homegrown food. That video, those carrots look so good. I think I need to eat lunch. And it's just the best. And we get to celebrate and dance and laugh. And it's just an exhausting day, but one at the end of that day that I just feel so whole and so full. And I have been savoring that feeling through this pandemic. Actually, right before the pandemic in November 2019 was when we did our big 10-year celebration, and many of you were there. And it is just something that in my darkest days during these lonely times, I think of. And I generally have been thinking about GHI so much. Solomon said the word resilience, which is something that I, like many, have just been mulling over. What does it mean? Are we more resilient coming out of this pandemic? I mean, we are not out of this pandemic by a long shot, although Solomon just shared with me that over half of Rwanda's population is now vaccinated, which is so incredible and remarkable and exciting. But, is resiliency something that you can just decide to be overnight, decide to create programs that create resiliency? And Gardens for Health, I think, is one of the most resilient structures, organizations, communities that I have ever encountered. And I think it is because of things like Thanksgiving. It's because of these rituals in which we choose on a daily basis to embed our values, and we choose to make it safe and comfortable to take care of people and to put that first, and to put community first, and to put the most vulnerable first. And that's just never a question with Gardens for Health. And it's never a question with the people who come together and work at Gardens for Health and support Gardens for Health. And I just feel like I have learned so much, and I'm continuing to kind of metabolize the lessons of Gardens for Health and things that we're told we don't have time in this busy capitalistic world to do this kind of caretaking and to do this kind of intentional community building. And I think it is what has carried Gardens for Health through. And I think it is a model for me as I think about other things I'm involved with and what kind of intentional community building needs to be done. I'm not a big, I don't have a lot of holidays and rituals that mean a lot to me, but GHI Thanksgiving is the exception, because I think what it is built atop, the foundation is very real, and we really mean it. The organization is about supporting nutrition and human thriving and food and community. And when we come together during Thanksgiving, that's what we do. And it is about kind of living our values to the fullest. So thank you all so much for being here today. And I really hope that maybe next year we can do part of this in person, and that many of you will be there to join us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Emma. And with those very wonderful words from Emma, I would also like to invite Kathy from End World Hunger to share her experience with Thanksgiving in Rwanda and also her memories with GHI. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emil. I've got Anna with me, who's really my team partner in our visit to Rwanda in 2019. Without Anna, we wouldn't have been able to have made it there, because she's really the glue that kept us all together. Do you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we brought a group of about 12 people from Sonoma to visit Gardens for Health in 2019 in November. And we started off in Kigali and the visit to the farm, and then we were able to drive around the country to visit some of your sites in the community health clinics and meet the people in the field, mostly in Musanze, to do all the work out there. And our group got to participate and meet the people and go into some of the homes and even eat a meal with the people there. It was just remarkable. And then we ended up back in Kigali for the celebration, the Thanksgiving celebration. So it was a wonderful big circle that we started and ended at the farm and with the beautiful Thanksgiving celebration. And for me, it was just amazing opportunity. Anna and I were, we got to wear Anna's mother's beautiful clothes and gown to the events, and and I really felt like royalty, I think. And it was just one of the most beautiful experiences of love and energy and music and dancing, and really that connection to the earth that I think is so vital and important, that sometimes I get a little disconnected from that connection to the earth. And I think that one of the things I've learned and appreciate so much from our trip there is how the joy and the energy and the love that comes from being in the garden, tilling the earth, growing the food, and then sharing it together is just remarkable. And we all came home with, that was a trip of a lifetime. It was just magnificent. And we hope to bring a group back in 2022. So next year, if we're so able and lucky, Anna has a list going already of people from Sonoma who would like to join us. So please say something.
I'm Anna, and I'm from Rwanda. I was born and raised in Rwanda, and I live in Sonoma, California. And it was my honor to bring people from my town where I live here as a Rwandan person and show them my country. I've been actually partner supporting GHI for quite a while, and it was my pleasure to really bring people and show them what I have a store here that raises money and sends money to GHI every month. And it was nice for me to show them what our money that goes to Rwanda support and what the money does there. And I was able to show them my country and also show them the work that GHI does, which I'm so proud of it. And I'm so thankful of all the people that support GHI, and that people give their stuff every day, Simon and Emma and Geoffrey and everybody that I remember the names. And it was such a trip of lifetime. Everybody talked to me about it, and everybody that I meet in the street, because when we got here, we were able to be in the newspaper, and everybody wanted to come to Rwanda. So it's such a, and I'm so grateful that we're able to have people in my country. And when I look at the picture and the words that people use that I understand in Kinyarwanda and English warms up my heart. I couldn't ask to be what I do every day and raising money and be able to help my people in my country. It really makes me, wake up every day and want to work more, and also want to bring more people to Rwanda and visit Rwanda and visit the Rwandan people. So thank you so much for having us today. And I love the tradition of Thanksgiving, and it means the Thanksgiving means so much to Rwandan people. I think it means, like Simon explained, we're really thankful every day, but today is just remembering that we're all together, we can meet and be thankful to everything that happens in our life, and I'm so grateful to be part of it. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anna and Kathy, for the beautiful story. And this is really what Thanksgiving is about, sitting together as a family and share all these great memories. And normally in normal circumstances around a big feast of the vegetables we grow at the farm. And I really hope that next year we can meet with you all on the event today. We can meet in person in Dera or, you know. So for the next moment, I would really want to invite our executive director again to invite a special guest who has honored our event tonight. Solomon, over to you, please.
Yes, Emil, thank you so much, Kathy and Anna. What a beautiful story. And again, End World Hunger Foundation, one of the reasons that we are connected and we got to know each other is actually is Anna's, Kathy rightly put. And I had a chance to visit the beautiful community in Sonoma a while ago, and it was just one of the most amazing moments there. I cherish those moments. So thanks so much for making it here. No additional speech. I just wanted to, again, recognize the presence of all of you, our friends from the US. I really appreciate that you're here. We also have friends representing our partner organizations. And I'll just, recognize them. Izumi Foundation, thanks so much, Gretchen, for joining us tonight. It's the morning there, but it's an evening here. Thanks so much. We have friends from the Sigo Family Foundation who has been our partner as well. And we also have, I know he doesn't personally like this, but we are honored today to have in our midst His Excellency, the U.S. Ambassador to Rwanda. Your Excellency, Mr. Peter, it's just an honor to have you on the call. I know you like, to attend such events on an individual and very ordinary level, but you can't help but really acknowledge your presence, and it really means a lot to have you here. So, you're welcome. If you would like to say something, please feel free to take it away. And we just wanted to make sure that I see and appreciate all of you for being here tonight before we proceed. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. It's sorry for my phone is not working so well, but great to see everybody and to hear about Gardens and Health. It's been before COVID experience getting to see the garden or getting to see the work in Musanze. So it was evocative to hear about the successes and what you've been doing in the process. So it's very much appreciated. I know you're a partner with Peace Corps, which I think brought us together. And so great to hear about all the supporters for your work, both in Rwanda and as far away as Sonoma. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Excellency. We appreciate. And speaking of Peace Corps, just also wanted to recognize the presence of Aline. I don't know whether she's still in the room. You're welcome again, everyone. And back to you, Emil.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador. For the next session is an exciting one. We are going to be breaking into groups to kind of have smaller introductions of ourselves, but also share a little bit of our knowledge about GHI, and there will be my colleagues from GHI who will be guiding those sessions. So I will invite my colleague Megan to take us into the groups, and then after that, when the breakout sessions time is over, we will, I don't want to keep the floor just for myself. Please help us to learn what the other groups discussed. Thank you.
Yes, Emil, I'm also looking at time, so we really keep this very brief and short. I hope that you all had amazing conversations like I had in my group. I had a chance to connect with two amazing people representing our, dear, friends and institutions. That is Aline from Peace Corps and also Nzashima from the University of Global Health Equity. And it was just amazing to just see what is it that kept all of us together. And I think one of what stood out for me really was there was a resounding talking and affirmation of the power of collaboration, that regardless of when things seem to be falling apart, that the way the communities, the way the people really came together to stay connected in ways that are very diverse. And I think in our group, that's what really stood out. And please, Emil and Zashima, feel free to jump in. But with that, we wanted to also provide opportunity to everyone. Is there anything that stood out for you or that you would like to share from your group, very briefly? And yeah, we just wanted to see what was happening in those groups with all those amazing people. Any brave soul to kick us off?
I think Katembo has raised his hand.
Yes,
Sure.
Katembo, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Solomon and Emil. And I was the luckiest person with these group sessions. I was with David, and I had nothing to say but to learn from him. I told him that I have been always talking about what I didn't know very well, because David is Emil's father, Emil, who is one of our co-founders, and then he told me everything about how Gardens for Health started. And I'm keeping some reserve of surprises to when we meet with the rest of our colleagues, to tell them how much I learned in this session. Thank you.
That's amazing, Katembo. And David, it's really, really such a pleasure and honor to have you here. I should also mention that David was our first board chair. So it's really, really great to see you and having stayed with us and supported us all these years.
Solomon, it's a wonderful memory to remember being with Emma and Emily and Julie in the early years, and how far we have come, and in large part thanks to your leadership. So we love the memory and the spread to Sonoma. Who knew that we'd get between the Beaumarchais thrift shop and Anabimenyamana and little Sonoma, a town of 10,000 people in California, linked with Gardens for Health in Rwanda, and the wonderful experience that all of us have had.
Of course, what a powerful story, and we hope that we can keep those memories alive over the years. So if there isn't anyone really who would like to share any other thought that stood out, we are looking at time. It's already 2 minutes past our time. I would like to really again, thank everyone so much for taking the time to join us on this Thanksgiving event. It really, really means a lot. This is one, as I said, this is the second event that we have prepared virtually, and who knew that it would be this success? But you have again, kept our hopes alive, and we hope that next year, knock on the wood, that we'll be able to gather in person. And also the other thing to say, that the Thanksgiving also, as I mentioned, that it also opens up for the holiday giving campaign. So please, we invite you to invest in us, to the causes, to help us really make all the unmet demands that families have met in the coming year. And with that, I think there are details that will be shared. We will be reaching out, following up as next steps with the recording of this session. And please, again, thank you so much for trusting and believing in Gardens for Health. On my behalf and behalf of the board and the entire staff, we are extremely grateful and honored to have you as supporters and as friends. And we look forward to reconnecting another time. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
in the middle
so
of the
much.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Yes, go get some sleep now.
Oh yes, good day. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Deserved.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Salman. Bye, Salman. We don't want to go.
Bye. Bye, Adam.
I don't wanna go.
Stay here.
We will need help with someone ending this meeting. We just want thank you, really. Thank you.
Megan.
It was amazing. Great presentation.
That was lovely. So we'll see you in person next year.
I'll see you guys soon.
Please do come.
I'm coming to visit in a couple days, in a month. So I'll visit.
Oh, please, Anna, just remember to you know my number. Just
yes, thank you.
I will be happy to take you to the farm tour. You
Oh
remember?
yes, I love it. Yes.